All right, now we're going to put together the trip mechanism for the magneto and the push rod. So we're going to start off with this assembly here, the trip mechanism itself. So we have all these parts are cleaned up. For the most part, they're not too bad. So the way this is going to go together, there's going to be a spring in here, and it rides. And you just want the spring to be shimmed enough where it takes up the gap here. And I've already played with the amount of washers to use, so it should work pretty good here. But if we do a couple spacers, the spring, a couple more washers in this case, and this would screw on. And that's just enough to take up that gap. Okay, so before I put this together though, I want to put Loctite on here. Go. Removable Loctite, so it shouldn't be an issue if I gotta take it off. Even if it wasn't removable in this piece, I could heat it and it would come off. Okay, so I'm going to take this over to my vise real quick and make sure I get it good and tight. Okay, we are tight now. So next up, need to put a little bit of grease in a couple spots inside of here. Let me get off some of that paint and that thing actually. So put some in here and here. Okay, so the upper part of this is what's going to trip the magneto. So let me get the best side up. Looks like that one. So you put it in the hole back there, bring the spring in, and that's it. A little more grease on top. And this little tab holds it in place. That's it. Okay, we'll put that to the side for now. Now I want to work on the push rod. There was a little bit of wear here where it wore against the block, but it's not bad enough I'm going to worry about. This was bent also. It was a little bit crooked, so I straightened it out. But cleaned it up and put some gun blue on it and should be good to go. So first thing I want to install is the cam roller, which goes back here. Alright, so we're good and tight there. Rolls freely. Then we have a lock nut on the back. Alright, not going anywhere now. The oil hole there for when we oil it. Okay. Next we're going to put this block that the lockout catches. Seems to be the best side there. So put some Loctite on this, definitely. Alright, we are good there. Now we have this block that goes on, slides over here. It's got some marks where the previous screws set down, so it's easy for me to determine orientation. I don't know if this is a factory mark or if somebody added this one, but that happens to be where it was stopped at when it was mounted. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in the same place. Slide it over. Made some new bolts for it. Actually slid it over wrong. It goes this way. These bolt holes line up with these grooves. And when it's mounted in the engine, it's just like this, and this flat is up, so you can mount this piece. Okay, so right there is where it was centered before. I am not going to Loctite these because they have a good jam nut, and I can adjust it easier later if I don't do that. Yeah, anything that's jam nut, there's no real need to Loctite it. Forgot to have a real wrench here. Okay, that's on. Next I want to mount this assembly here. Oh, there's something I noticed I forgot. Forgot this tab, which is used for starting to change the timing. I did mess up. I forgot to blue this screw. Use gun blue on it. So I'm going to install it as is for now. No Loctite because I'm going to remove it again later to put blue on it. But for the sake of this video, let's get it together. So you'd want to Loctite it, but leave it semi-loose where you could still flip this up. Okay. So this will go in here. Got a couple. We got a pin, new pin. New pin, couple washers to shim it with. Just go ahead and get some grease in here. So start off pin, spacer, I need another spacer. Oh, what I didn't mention because it was already pressed in place is there's a spring under here. It keeps this up and keeps tension on the mechanism on the magneto. Okay, so now we're going to put our snap ring on. All right, snap ring's in place. This assembly's ready to install. That's not good for it. All right, pretend I didn't do that. Never happened. Okay, next up, this will mount here. A couple bolts. Well, I should say I'm not going to tighten this super tight yet because I want to adjust it later once we get the magneto together, or engine together. All right, so that's it. And this spring, of course, will go here. This will slide through the cylinder head. That's the push rod, trip mechanism, all set, ready to install. All right, I'm not sure what's next, but we'll have another one on this pretty soon. See you then.